So this video, I'm not going to spoil it by talking all over it. It's a complimentary video to the one that I've put up for the PC analysis and obviously the full Death Stranding review on PS5, the director's cut. Now, this is really to back up that information so you can see all of those frame tests play out without me talking over them in their entirety, and I can just add some additional information for all the comments and the narratives that will appear in the thread. So, at the end of the day, right, I'm just giving you information. So the first one will be, I didn't test the PS5. In gameplay, it drops heavily. Here you go. This is quality mode, stressful, one of the mini boss battles, lots of liquid simulation, lots of alpha transparencies, lots of volumetrics in the background. It just heavily stresses the GPU and the CPU by moving around. You can see one single drop frame, a locked 60. So in gameplay, it works fine, but in heavy cutscenes, it's generally heavily utilizing it. The next argument will be, well, the Zen 2700 affects it, and the performance of those two PCs is not up to the spec. 3600 is much better CPU. So the first one, as you can see here, I'm testing the game at native 1080p, which means it's not GPU limited at this point. You can see I'm getting 90 to 100 FPS, as I said. The CPU is not the issue here. It is not stressing out and holding back this game at performing at 60 FPS, which is the target we're testing against the PS5. It can't go any higher. You can see the CPU does not struggle. It runs the game perfectly fine, even at max settings, which is what you can see here. And even then, that only adds around half a millisecond. So at this point, maybe 1.5 FPS. Certainly sub 4-5%, nothing tangible, and it's not part of the equation. So everything I tested was on default the same as the PS5 and the PS4 Pro. So the next argument will be, why the 2070 is nowhere near a 2070 Super, even with your overclock. Well, obviously that's untrue, as I've been saying, but with the help of the community, you can actually look on YouTube and find other people testing the same game on the cards and specs you want. So here we have, from a online YouTuber, the link is in the description below, and it really was helpful to find artists. He's got a 2070 Super paired with a Zen 3600, in fact, the other CPU you probably told me to test as well. And here we can see, pairing my card with his at native 4K, I get exactly the same frame rate. In fact, 1 FPS higher at this point. But in addition to that, we can also test it when he flicks over to quality DLSS, and I've tested that here in the same sections, and lo and behold, look at that. It performs almost identical to that particular card in DLSS quality at the same sections, following his path through the game, averaging somewhere between 70 and 78 FPS. And then he goes on to turn on performance, and I get the same. In fact, I get slightly more. I get almost 100 FPS at certain points. So that's not the blocker either. So removing all those arguments, what I tested still stands. It's effectively a 2070 Super. The CPU is not bottlenecking it. The PS5 is performing at these levels, and this is additional information on top of all that, just so that you don't have anything else to say this is the reason why it's performing the way it is. It's a perfectly valid test. It's only testing this particular game stroke engine, and it's potentially only testing the GPU. That's the only thing I'm stressing here. There's definitely more space left over in the Zen 2700, and there's certainly more space left over in the PS5 Zen 2 CPU. So all of this is a GPU conversation, as I covered in that video. You can see the rest of these tests running out without me talking over the top. Enjoy, and remember, if you like what I do and everything I do here, I am completely self-funded and independent. So subscribe, share, talk, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.
Don't be so serious.
Weapons detected. Have a pleasant journey.
particle of God that permeates all existence. Ah, so it was you that dragged him into all this. Bloodied but unbowed. Huh? What's that? Bridget Strand is dead. America's last president dead and burned. Oh, and now the girl's been chosen to take Mommy's place. Well, that won't wash. She's not cut out for politics, is she? Oh, but don't worry. I'll find her. And I'll keep her real safe. You see, I've come to understand the truth of the Death Stranding. Oh, there's so much you people don't know. The girl, for instance, she's not like you or me. Dooms ain't her thing. And she's more into destruction on a worldwide scale. An extinction entity. It's so hard to form connections when you can't shake hands. Fortunately, I've got a good connection to the other side. Now you're no bridge. And me, I'm down to all of it. This world, that world, and our sweet little angel of death. You're on the menu. All it'll take is one itty-bitty void out to blow us all to kingdom come. So how about it? Aren't you getting tired of the grind? Isn't this what you've been waiting for this whole time? A game over.
Heads up, Sam. According to our damage assessment,
It's ready.
Simply
Get those supplies to
incredible.
Lake City.
For the first
We're
time
just
in
getting
history,
started.
a human being has defeated a BT. Were you not a repatriate, I doubt it would have been possible.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
The name's Higgs, the particle of God that permeates all existence. So it was you that dragged him into all this. Bloodied but unbowed. What's that? Bridget Strand is dead. America's last president dead and burned. Oh, and now the girl's been chosen to take Mommy's place. Well, that won't wash. She's not cut out for politics, is she? Oh, but don't worry. I'll find her. And I'll keep her real safe. You see, I've come to understand the truth of the Death Stranding. Oh, there's so much you people don't know. The girl, for instance, she's not like you or me. Dooms ain't her thing. And she's more into destruction on a worldwide scale. An extinction entity. Oh, it's so hard to form connections when you can't shake hands. Fortunately, I've got a good connection to the other side. Now you're no bridge. To me, I'm bound to all of it. This world, that world, and our sweet little angel of death. You're on the menu. All it'll take is one itty-bitty void out to blow us all to kingdom come. So how about it? Aren't you getting tired of the grind? Isn't this what you've been waiting for this whole time? A game over.
Heads up, Sam. According to our damages...